Okay guys, today I want to talk about PID tuning with clean flight on an ACE32. Just got a normal quad here. I've just finished flashing the quad with the latest version of the software. I've also set up my receiver to be PPM and all that sort of stuff in the command line. Yeah, so I need to tune my PIDs now. So PID stands for Proportional, Integral and Derivative. It's a type of control system that's been used in industry for a long time, and it's been obviously used now on quadcopters. Basic maths hasn't changed. However, for some reason, a lot of the tuning has changed how people do it. Traditionally, what you'd do is you'd hover, and then see if it was okay, and then you'd land. You'd increase your P. You'd have your integral and your derivative, or your I and your D set to 0. You'd increase your P, take off again, see how it was going, land again, increase it again, etc., etc., until when you took off, you saw some really high frequency oscillations. Now, if you have Bluetooth, obviously you can tune this in the air. But anyway, you'd see high frequency oscillations, and you'd drop it down again until it would just sit there. Next thing you'd tune would be integral. Again, you'd hover it and increase integral until you get some lower frequency oscillations, and then drop it back a bit so that it was just hovering again. And no one ever really explained D what it did. You know, people said, "Oh, just increase it until things feel right." Well, I don't think that's the actually correct way to tune your PIDs. The way I reckon it should be done is you decrease your I and your D to 0, and definitely you increase your P first. But P only affects the vehicle really when there's a large error in what you want. Say you want that, and what you've got. Okay, so for me, what I reckon is that the best way to do it is to take off and start introducing error, doing wobbles, until you get to a point where your stick movement feels like what it's doing. So what I mean by that, you throw the stick over, and the quad throws over as well. Now, in doing that, what's going to happen is when you throw it over, it's going to go past where you want it, and it's going to go past and then come back and get an oscillation until it gets to where you want it to be. Okay, so yes, the oscillation is bad, but we're going to fix that in the second part of tuning, which is derivative. With derivative, you can it takes out the oscillation at the end when it gets to the point where you want it. That doesn't matter where it is. After you've done all that, once you've got P and D tuned, it will go exactly where you want. But say you put it in that position and leave it, eventually it might tip over, it might roll backwards and stuff like that, depending on how well your craft is balanced. So that's where integral comes in. Once you've got it stuck to the stick, it does what you want. Then you start increasing I until you turn it that way, and it just holds that angle all the time. Okay. Once it's holding that angle to your satisfaction, your PID is tuned. With clean flight, they make it very simple to do, which is really handy. So I've already taken the props off when I was tuning this up, but I'm going to show you now how to do this. So I'm going to connect up power to my quad. I've got my props off at the moment from when I was setting things up. I'm going to connect via Bluetooth. Now, clean flight has this thing called adjustments. Actually, first, make sure any of your auxiliary ranges have been removed. What's going to happen is we're going to set up some of the switches on our controller to tune our PIDs live in the air. Makes a big difference. So make sure that you've got no flight modes configured for the buttons you're going to use. In the in-flight adjustments, I've got all these buttons here. So what we're going to do on our controller here is we're going to set this button here, which is a 3-position switch, so that when we're in this position here, it tunes P, in the middle it tunes I, and at the end it tunes D. Okay? And what's going to happen if we put it on P, we're then going to use this 3-position switch. We're going to leave it in the middle, it does nothing. When we push it high, it's going to increase the P. If we push it down, it decreases the P. So that's what we're going to do this. This is aux 1 on my receiver. This is aux 3. Okay? You have a look in your receiver here. If I flick this one, why is it not on? Channel that's not on. you'll see aux 1 is that one there, and aux 3 is that one. Right, so we go into our adjustments here, and we say, okay, first one, aux 1, when it's in the low position, you see the yellow line, we want to tune pitch P adjustment using slot 1, actually auxiliary 3. Okay, then we want to do exactly the same. Aux 1 is in the middle, we want to tune I using the 3rd auxiliary, and then again when it's high we want to tune derivative using aux 3. Go and save that, and that is all there is to tuning PIDs in the sky. So next vid we will do, I'll take off and actually do that for you. Okay, I'll put some pops on.